Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Lonely Triathlete. This is Kobe. Today, I'm very honored to have the champion of IRONMAN Penghu, Mathilde Hanuise, to join us. Hi, Matilda. Thanks for being here.
Hello, everybody.
I was watching the tracker app all day on the race day, and I was so impressed with your performance. But before we dive into your incredible performance, I want to take a step back. I want to let our audience know who is Mathilde Hanuise.
Hello, I am Mathilde Hanuise. I live in Belgium. In Belgium, I work like a dietitian. I don't know if you know the nutritionist.
Oh yeah, sure.
In
Nutritionist.
my job in Belgium, nutritionist and coaching personal with my customer. I work in a triathlon shop because my husband have a triathlon shop in Belgium, and the concept is we have everything for the sportive, and in the shop you have also my office where I can do my consultation for nutrition, and it's my job. And near my job, I do my entrainment for triathlons also. So it must is a passion for that.
Okay, so when you are a kid, did you do any sport like swimming, cycling, or running?
Before triathlon?
Yeah, before triathlon.
Yes. Yes, before triathlon, donc, I ran a lot. I mainly did middle distance running, 5, 10, and half marathon, but I had never run a marathon before my first Ironman. I started doing Ironman triathlon in 2016 when I met my partner. So before that, it's only running. I always swim also alongside to avoid the injury, because when I run only, I had a lot of injuries. So I introduced the swimming to avoid the injury, and then but the cycling is what not in my program, but after step by step are starting cycling. In 2016 I had the opportunity to participate swim run world championships. I don't know if you know Otilo. It's a
So,
swim run.
I had no idea.
Otilo, it's like Ironman, but for the swim and run. It's the race, and you swim in the sea, and you run on the island, and
Mhm.
you start in a pond, and you finish at another pond. You can qualify to do world championships like Kona, but for Otilo, it's in Greece, in Switzerland.
Switzerland.
Yes, it's 10 kilometer by swim and 75 by run, but you change always during the race. And when I come back, I told my partner that I felt capable of doing a full Ironman, and so we start your preparation together for the Ironman. And the first Ironman was in Mont Tremblant in 2017. I finished second in my age group. I do one first Ironman, but the aim is not to go to Kona. But I don't have the slots, but I have second in my category. Like we see that I have aptitude for Ironman. So after that, we decided with my partner to attempt to qualify in Xiamen. So we go to Xiamen in 2018. In Xiamen, I finished first on my age group. And so I earned my Kona slots to participate in 2019.
Oh.
Yes, so my second Ironman was Kona. It was not a good shape during Kona, but it was a good experience. And then they came the COVID after
Yeah.
yes. So I continued to training, but more by myself without a structure and workouts. So I have no coach, no, it's only by myself. And then after it, we have an inscription in 70.2 in Nice. Over there, I win in my group age, in my age group. So I decided After that, I decided to get a coach again. And I start with Luc Van Lierde. I don't know if you know Luc Van Lierde.
Yeah, sure.
The
Two-time Ironman world champion.
Yes, yes. So it's
Yeah.
my coach because my partner had to start the coaching with him during COVID, but for me, I don't start as
Mm.
this moment. After I say my partner, I will take also Luc Van Leer like this. I have more structure, and I prefer to have someone who say me that I what to do like training. Since I start with Luc Van Leer, I have won the Ironman in Nice, but the full Ironman. I did Nice in 2022, I think. Yes, but they have they have also pro woman. So I have the first woman overall out of pros, but with the pro, I think I finished five.
Okay, so even with the pro triathlete, you still finish in fifth, right?
Yes,
That's amazing.
yes. So, but I don't take the slot for Kona.
Why?
Because I did one time and it was not the good years for me
Okay.
to decided to do Kona, but it's a big travel. So with it's not easy to organize with everything of the life. But my partner also want to have a slot for Kona. So the next time that I decided to go to Kona, I think it's when my partner arrived to have a slot also.
Oh, I understand. But because back then they separate the men and
Yes,
women's world
at
champion.
this moment it's not separate. After it was separate, but during 2 or 3 years, I think. So
Mm.
no, it's Kona for everybody. So it's more easy to do together. So yes. Donc one day we go to Kona, but when my partner can have a slot, but we go to Penghu for that because my partner analyze all the race for him Penghu because the last years they have a lot of slots. So we saw that and he decided to go to Penghu. But we love also travel with Ironman, and it's also a good opportunity to travel together and to discover the new place because we never go to Taiwan, but it was very good discovery.
I am a bit surprised that you have won so many titles. Before this interview, I thought this is your first champion, but it was not. You've already had a lot
Yeah,
of trophies back maybe you're in your closet somewhere.
but during 1 or 2 years between Nice and after Nice, I think I have a crash, motivation and sensation very bad. So
Mhm.
I did with my partner because he would like to do Cozumel. So we did Cozumel in 2024 things, but
Mhm.
this Ironman was very bad for me because I finished the marathon but working, and I finished my
Oh.
marathon time for marathon. Yeah, but I feel it I was not very my mindset is what no motivation. It was a period like this, but after that I have a declic and are starting with just 20K by run, 20K of Paris, and then we decided to reinscription for a full Ironman, so Penghu. And
Okay.
before Penghu, I feel very good. I was very motivation. My
Mhm.
sensation was very good.
Mhm.
So I felt that it was the good race for me.
Sure, sure. You did really good, did really well. But Matilda, excuse me, are you playing some music around your house or your store?
Yes, 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 because here we train a lot with the music, boom boom.
Also, your partner is training right now.
He's not training. It's rest. This week is
Uh,
rest. Tomorrow we start the training.
Okay, so just you just took 1 week off and then you
Yeah,
start training.
yes, but
Wow,
start slowly.
that's so amazing. No wonder you are a champion. It's very interesting to hear how far you have come from. Like it's been 10 years of the Ironman, the triathlon. And now I think we can move on to your race in Penghu. You swam 58 minutes and 10 seconds. That was
Yeah,
really fast.
yeah, but I think the distance was a little bit shorter. I think because
Really?
I don't take my distance with my watch, but when I go out of the water, I heard the speaker to say 58. Wow, I was very impressed by my chrono. But I think the first time is 57. The
You mean
first
the first place?
Yeah, I think it's 57. So I did a good swimming, yes. It's important to know that I was always start without putting any pressure on myself because for me, doing an Ironman is first and foremost about enjoyment. Yes, you have a little bit excitation and stress, but for me, an Ironman is something is not hard to do. It's a long,
Mhm.
but it's not hard. And so before to start take the starting, I say me, okay, it's a long day of training for me. If you are ready, you follow your instruction, your pace, but it's not
Mhm.
hard. So I was relatively calm because I was well prepared. During the preparation, I went relatively also well. I feel good sensation. I did all training, and my chrono was very good during the training. So I know that I was ready. 2 days before the race, I check the starting list of the woman.
Mhm.
I analyzed it and with my partner, and I saw that I was one concurrent in my age group, but I don't check the other age group. But in my age group, I see that I had one concurrent. It's this, I don't remember of his name, Yong Shen, Liu Shen.
Liu Xuan? Oh.
Yeah, it was my concurrent. I checked with ChatGPT, and he say me that okay, you Shen and you have very similar performance,
Mhm.
but
Mhm.
the only difference it was the acclimatation of the weather. But I come 10 or 12 days before the race, so we training in Penghu. I feel the temperature very hot, but usually I tolerate good the with the hot temperature.
Mhm.
So I start very calm the race, and the swimming was relatively peaceful. There are not too strong current. I didn't meet any jellyfish,
So
and
lucky.
everybody see jellyfish, but me no, I don't see
Wow.
jellyfish. So it was good.
Okay.
And then I found my rhythm during the race, and so no special thing during the swimming for the cycling, but everything went relatively well. So the wind was not very hard.
No? Really?
Yes, because before to come to Penghu, everybody say me, but my partner like the wine because it's.
Yeah.
But so for me, it's not an advantage because I am little and not very
Heavy.
yes, but it was not stronger that I think about because before to come. I think that the wind was 60 kilometer, but it was not
Not
this.
so crazy.
No, crazy exactly. And I start my 40, 45 first kilometer. I found a comfortable pace because I told before with my coach, and he say me to start slowly, to start very slowly, to conservative the energy. And after 40, 50 kilometer, I find a good speed for me. I respect my wattage, my power. And then at the end of the last 40
Mhm.
kilometer, after I feel very good, so I push a little bit more.
How many watts were you pushing?
My average it's 135 watts. It's
135 watts
it's
average.
but after at the end I was 150.
150. So you push a little bit harder at the end of the cycling.
Yes.
Because
Because it was the strategy to come start slowly, and then at the end it depends how I feel. I feel good, so I decided to push a little bit more.
just to get your legs warmed up for the run, right?
Yes, of course. Yeah, the secret I think is a good gestion of your effort.
Yeah, your effort, right. You rode 5 hour and 33 minutes, which was very fast given the wind condition. Although you said the wind was not so crazy, but every
But
Taiwanese knows how crazy the wind in Penghu is. So
yes,
it's really tough.
you have the wind in the face, but you have also the wind in the
Tail?
back. When you come back of the beach, the wind was
Yep.
was on the back, so you can accelerate naturally.
Oh, I
Yeah.
see. But how about the crosswind? It was
Yeah,
sometimes very dangerous for cycling there.
you have lateral wind, but the day of the race it was not very lateral. It was not dangerous just one time, but I know feel that it was dangerous. But it was dangerous because of the car, because the circulation was open, and I think that the Ironman organization the next time I think it's better to do something than to close the part of the road, because it was very dangerous for the participant.
Sure, I think I will make sure they know your message. By the way, you rode just like I said, you rode a 5 hour and 33 minutes, which was very fast. But I think you got passed by another athlete from Taiwan whose name is Li Yun. Did you know that? Did you know you were passed by her?
Yes, but I don't see.
You didn't know.
No, I don't know when she passed me.
There are a lot of people.
I finished my bike. I don't know where is my position in the race. But when I start the running, there have a lot of athletes on the marathon. But I start and I see the first woman, but I don't know if it was a woman or a man, because she have short hair, so I don't know if it was woman or a man. So I'm not sure that I am first or second. And but we had Belgium friends who were during marathon and say me that the first woman was 3 minutes and 30 seconds before me. My friends say me that okay, you run a little bit faster than the first woman, so if you continue like this, you can pass the first woman. But I know that also marathon was my favorite sport.
Your
But
strength.
yes, but it was very hot. She ran also fast because the first woman she starts also fast. I was a little bit faster than I don't know if I can to continue this pace.
Were you worried about that you never catch her, or you are just so very confident that you are going to catch her?
I start my marathon comfortable. I know that it was a pace that I can keep it, but I don't know if with the longer and with the temperature that I don't know if I can continue like this. But I feel very good, so I continue my speed. And my friends say me that the timing between the first woman and me decreased step by step. But I passed her at 20K. But in my
Okay.
mind, I say that when I pass the first woman, I say that I will perhaps decrease a little bit my speed to continue the 20 other K, because it was only the half marathon. And I know that it was perhaps difficult to keep the speed,
Pace.
but yes, but I feel good. The most important was to decrease the temperature of the body. So I take time to take ice to drink. When I pass the first woman, I feel a little bit crash. I start with 4 minutes and 45 minutes per kilometer, and after when I pass the first woman, I continue by 5 minutes per kilometer. I continue to take my gel.
Nutrition.
Yes, I take my nutrition, and then I feel that my energy come back, and so I can finish my last 10 kilometer faster.
So when you pass the first woman, are you two running together for a time, or you just pass it and run away?
I just pass, and then I don't see. No, we don't run together. But
No.
I encouraged the woman. It was Liu Shen. I say her, "Allez, good job. Continue like this." And say me, "Oh, you look good." And after I continue my race. But when I finish, after I run a little bit with the first man, he had one around more of me, 10 kilometers before me, but we ran a little bit together with the first man. And when the first man go to the finish line, I start my last run.
Lap. Yeah.
Yes, my last, and he finished, and I pass him, and he checked me.
Fist bump.
Yes, it was a good time because I think that okay, in one lap later, it's me.
Okay, so it sounds you are really enjoying the run.
Yes.
So crossing the finish line, so you were officially announced an Ironman champion. What was your emotion?
1 month before, I said my partner I say him one day a dream it was to take the band and but I don't realize immediately that it was the first woman overall, but yes, it was a good experience. Yes, it's a good experience, and it's the result of the work of discipline that I imposed during the years.
Okay, I'm sure you have put a lot of hard work before this race. And speaking of the training, I believe there are many people want to know what it takes to become a champion. So can you share a little bit of your training detail with us? Like how many hours you train a week, and what is your weekly training plan look like?
Yes, but I think one of the secret is the regularity, the constance, and the regularity. I am someone very regular in my planning, and I have no period of I relax everything. I continue very very regular. Is one of the secret, I think, is the regularity. So in my training, generally over the course of a week, I run 3 or 4 times per week. The biking is 3 times, and the swimming is 3 times a week. And the variation of the distance, it change of the cycle of the period, because before Ironman, you have 3 months with the overdrive, and during the overdrive you have a lot of volume of entrainment, but I didn't do a lot of volume during all the years. But every years, during all the years, I have a minimum of training, but it's very very regular. It's non-stop.
So
But the next week, I will start my training, but I will start with little volume. Every week, I will do 2 swimming, four running, and 3 bike. But the difference is the volume and the intensity.
okay, so how many weeks you train for Penghu?
We start the preparation for Penghu after the Christmas, and
Okay.
I think the preparation was a little bit shorter. Sometimes we start 6 months before, but because my coach say me that we have a good base, so we can start a little bit later the preparation for Penghu.
Because you are already experienced, right? So you
Yeah.
don't need to build a base like everybody else from beginning.
But I need intensity, but more during the specific 2 months before the Ironman, we did specific intensity. Yes, the most part of the training is slow intensity. During the specific preparation, we changed the intensity, and we did also tests with lactates to define the zone of training. I see my coach every 2 months. He do tests with lactate in running and in biking. Like this, he can define it where I am in my shape and what is my entraînement zone.
So normally how many hours a week do you train?
During hour, I didn't calculate by hour, but and the timing depends the period of the training. But before I have the rapport in my phone. 1 month before Penghu, it was about in average 4 hour and 30 per day hour. About yes 20-25 hour per weeks.
20 to 25. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's really a lot.
Yes, yes.
So yeah. So you
I didn't
really
like this, but it's taken a long time. But after that, I
Mhm.
have nothing. I work, I train, and I have not a lot of social life or sometime a dinner with friends, sometime with my family, but it's not each week.
no.
But I like it because we do also together with my partner. So it's a lifestyle and we love it.
Understand. Yeah. When you do
Yeah.
it together, you enjoy it together. Yeah.
Yes, yes, of course. Because I think if it will be alone to do that, I think it was not the same. I think I will do
No.
perhaps one Ironman, but after I stop and I don't continue to do Ironman every years. But like we do together, it's a good partage, comme on dit. It's we do together holiday, travel, entrainment. I think it was not the thing that I will do alone to take a plane to do an Ironman alone. I think it was not the same for me.
You won't be enjoying it if you are doing it alone.
No, I think it's not the same pleasure to do alone. Perhaps I for the challenge. Okay, I will do one time an Ironman alone. Yes, of course,
Just
but
one time?
one time I don't know, but I think it's more pleasure to
Hmm.
share with someone and
Sure.
or to share with friend perhaps also, but I have the chance to do with to share with my partner, so the pleasure is what's bigger that I do alone. Yes, of course.
Yeah, yeah, sure. I can see it. So let's talk about your coach, Luc Van Leert. How do you work together? Is it online or you meet up in person?
No, it's in person. This morning we go to the shop of my partner because Luc Van Leek come to do tests with his athletes. To start, my partner contact Luc Van Leer to have a coach, but not a French coach. He wants a coach with no affinity, but step by step, Luc Van Leer he come a friend because he come to the shop, he come with this athlete in the shop, he come at home for a dinner, and so step by step we become friends. So it's not alone personal coach; it's also friends and.
So he started as a stranger, just a coach, no friendship. Huh.
Yes, now he become a friend, and we exchange a lot of with for the job also because he have partnership with the shop of my partner.
Do you live close?
But the Belgium is smaller. We live in Bruges. We live in Tervuren in Brussels, so it's 1 hour and 40 minutes. Come regularly to do tests because he travels also a lot for this is athlete in Thailand, and so he travel a lot. And when he come back in Belgium, he do all the tests with the Belgium athletes.
So when he is away, he's not in Belgium. How does she give you the section?
By email. Every Friday, I have my planning for the follow 2 weeks. It's very, very regular, very serious, very fiable. If I have question, I can ask him, but usually I have never problem, and I do that. It say me that I have to do.
Wow, sounds like you are a good student.
Exactly.
Okay, so how you just talked about the weather condition, especially in Taiwan, the weather is pretty hot. Did you do any special preparation for the hot weather?
No, I because when we do Ironman, we have already do Ironman in hot weather, but in Cozumel in Mexico, Kona. So I have the usually I have the habits to do in hot weather, but Penghu is very very hot.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I have no special precaution, but I take ice every station ice because when you have cold at hand, you have cold at your body, and it's the only thing that I did, and I think it was I was a very good acclimatation because we come 10 day before the race. Every day I go to work outside 40 minutes, and like this I think my body it was acclimated.
So you didn't do any special hard heat training, like I don't know if you watch the video. People are wearing a lot of clothes and running or cycling with a lot of clothes on them. So you never done that.
No, no.
No, okay. So you just came earlier.
Yes, yes. But I when I arrived in Penghu, it was a very bad weather. It was
Uh-huh.
raining, and raining. I have a cold when I arrive in Penghu. Oh no, it's like the Belgium. But after 2 days, the temperature start to increase, and
Right.
I feel the difference, and I feel oh, the day of the race it will be very difficult to for the temperature, but it's what.
I think you have some kind of a talent to adapt the hot weather
Yes, I
because
for
yeah,
me.
even we Taiwanese we can deal with the hot weather. But
Yes,
you
yes,
did very well. Before the finish line, I watched your partner's video. You can even do
yes,
that,
yes.
you know. So you must have a lot of energy back then.
Yes, yes, I have no difficult for me to do an Ironman because for me an Ironman is it's a long épreuve. It's not hard. It's the mind and the preparation before. Of course, if you did the kilometer and good preparation, the day of the race is not hard. It's just a long day of training. I don't know to give an explication about that because I was ready, so my mind was ready also to do the distance. It seemed not longer for me. I did the bike. I finished the bike. Oh, it's already finished. Okay, and when I start running, I run, but I don't look every kilometer. No, I run, and after oh okay, I already the last lap. Okay, perfect, and I don't feel long.
So I can see your confidence come from your hard work in the training
Course, yes,
effort.
yes, yes,
Okay, I
yes.
see, I see.
The most more difficult it is the volume of entraînement the week before the race. It's difficult because you work, you have to training, so it's the period more difficult is the before the race.
Okay, so
In
you've
Belgium,
already done the most difficult part.
yes, and the weather in Belgium before the race was very bad. We did 180 kilometer with the raining, so we after the biking was very we are
Wet.
Yes, that's and running. I did my 28-kilometer outside in Belgium, but all the running with the rain. So all the big session we did with the raining and the cold weather. So
Wow.
after when we come in Taiwan, it was more comfortable, but
Okay,
it's not
so
too hot.
so brutal.
But now the weather is best, so we can do the training outside step by step.
So next week you will start your new training program. For
Yeah.
what? What's the next race?
After Penghu, we have checked the next race, perhaps in Malaysia.
Malaysia.
Yes, yes,
Okay.
yes. I think it's November 2026.
2026 in Malaysia. I'll check it out.
Okay, but it's not sure, but it is the idea
Oh,
because
okay.
we would like to do one Ironman before that and more early, but it's not very easy to do because we have to work and we have other priority before the training for an Ironman. So the next possibility is in November 2026 in Malaysia.
Is it for your partner's Kona slot? Because
Yes,
you already have, right?
yes.
Okay.
I don't take the slots. I
You
didn't take the slots.
you
No,
didn't? Why?
no,
Why?
because if we have to do together, it's not.
Oh,
Yes. If I take this slot, it's for Kona in October. We don't know if it's possible to do another Ironman here.
for your partner together Kona slot. So you still wanna go to Kona together, right? It's your dream.
Yes, yes, of
I
course, yes.
see. I see. I hope one day he will get his own
Yes,
one,
yes,
and
yes,
you two you can go together.
of course.
So next year, you will you come back to Taiwan to race again with your partner?
Yes, it's not sure, but it can be possible.
And
So because
okay.
we like Taiwan, we love it. It's good discovery,
Mhm.
and why not to restart the race? It's also a solution for a slot, probably.
Mm.
Yes.
Yeah, and you already have some experience.
Yes, but for me, I don't like to do 2 times the same race. I prefer,
Oh,
for me, I prefer to change the race. But if
different.
it is a solution to have a slot for my partner, it's okay. We can come back.
Okay, so good luck with you. I wish you all the best. So Matilda, thanks
Thank
for
you.
being so generous with your time. It is a very pleasure to talk to you. I hope
For me,
one day I can go to Belgium and meet you and your partner up.
it's because you come in Belgium when you want, and you can to visit the shop, and my partner you contact me when you want, and my partner can help you also for podcast and contact in Belgium, Luc van Leer. So
Okay, I think it will be very good opportunity if I can talk to her.
yes, 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 and thank
Okay,
you for the mochi. It was very good.
you like it?
Yes, yes, of course, yes.
Thank you again, and I hope you get your Kona slot in like November and your partner as well.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
Contact. Yes. Bye.
Bye bye.